Good day, family. Welcome to another episode of the Truth and Transformation podcast with Ntozo. So today, I really want to just briefly speak about surrender. You know, um, I got excited realizing the simplicity, not the simplicity, but complexity. I don't know the functioning of surrender, because especially surrendering to God, surrendering your will, letting go of your will for God's will. And what I learned about that, because at first I didn't know that, I found it hard to believe that God's will was as good as my will, if I could put it that way. Um, but then I recently learned, I always kind of knew this thing, but I kind of didn't fully believe it. And now I saw it that God's will is better, God's will is bigger. God has bigger plans for his children than we actually have. Our plans might seem big to us because of exposure. It's what we've been exposed to. And so we plan according to what we know and what we've seen. But God's plan are so much greater than you could ever think or imagine. So he has big, great plans for us, plans that seem impossible. And one thing about God, he will never lead you astray. He has good plans for you. He doesn't have plans to harm you. He has good plans for you. He loves you. And so for me, it was kind of hard to trust that. And it was kind of hard for me to let go of my will and my plans for God's plans. But now I'm learning that actually God is not against me. God and I are on the same team, right? And we actually have the same goals. It's just that the path that we might take to get to that goal is not the same. Our ways are not his ways. His ways are higher than ours. So in his ways being higher than ours, his ways not being the same as ours, his ways are obviously better than our ways. He created us. He knows what cycle, what life would be the best for us. And once you live life your way, you realize that it's not really, fulfilling. It lacks purpose, or it lacks meaning, because purpose is only given by God, the one who created us, for a purpose and for a reason, which is to glorify him. So in surrendering my will for God's will, I realized that God has good plans for me. God loves me, and God has good plans for me. That's the first thing that I realized. And sometimes it may be messy. Surrendering is not always this cute, perfect thing. It's just, sometimes it's messy, because sometimes even it involves fear. You might be afraid to surrender. You might there's a lot of things that could be at play, a lot of factors, but you need to just own your truth and go to God with the truth, not pretending. Don't pretend to be something that you're not. He can handle your truth. I feel like sometimes we don't give God our truth because we feel like he can't handle it, but it's God, okay? It's God, the creator. So obviously he can handle it. If you tell him that you have doubts, you want to surrender your will for his will, but you have doubts, he's gonna teach you how to trust him, and you're gonna see that he's worthy of trust because he has good plans for you. And what else did I realize? Oh, I also realized that when I surrendered, it was a thing of see, I felt at peace. It was a thing of I felt at peace. I felt like a load had been lifted off my shoulders. I felt at peace, man. I felt freer. I felt lighter. Like it was something that I was so afraid to do this whole time, but it was actually the best decision that I'd ever made in my life. So, yeah, I'm encouraging you to surrender to God's plan and God's will for your life. He has a better plan that actually works. I know one thing about God's plan, it always seems impossible. You may just not trust it. It's hard to trust sometimes, but He's going to teach you to trust His plan because He's going to teach you how to trust Him, and you'll see that He's worthy of trust. And once you give it all to Him and ask Him to have His way and ask Him to lead you in order to be able to do things His way, I can't emphasize how much freeing that is. And yeah, it's so much better, I promise. You don't even have to have it all figured out because He already does. It's so much better, man. So that's what I wanted to drop here. The beauty, the simplicity, plus complexity. Because it's simple at the same time, it's very hard to get yourself to a place of surrender. But at the same time, it's just once you do it, it's man, I had good plans for myself, but God had better plans for me, So just do it. Just do it. And I'm not referring to any slogan, no, but just do it. Okay. That's what I wanted to drop here today. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and I hope you also enjoyed this episode. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Okay. Love you, loads.